Aspiraltotheself, another timeless collective reading. Thank you for clicking onto my video. Please keep in mind that this is a general collective reading, therefore the messages will not and may not resonate with everyone. So please take what resonates with you in your particular situation and leave the rest. Please don't try to make the story fit if it doesn't fit, if it's not resonating with you. It just means that I'm not picking up on your energy, which is perfectly okay. If you are a returning member, subscriber, or viewer, welcome back, Soul Family. It's good to see you guys again. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, subscribes, super thanks, and donations. I truly appreciate them all. And if you are new to the channel, welcome. It's good to see a new face here. Please keep in mind in the areas of legal, law, finance, health, mental health, please know that I'm not an expert in those areas, nor do I claim to be, and if I mention them at all, it is either what my intuition is picking up on or it's literally on the cards themselves. However, if it truly resonates for you, I highly encourage you to speak to those experts in those areas of expertise. Something also to note is that I am not a tarot reader, I am a seer, therefore the cards are just how I connect with you guys. The cards are a physical and visual representation of the intuitive downloads that I receive, so please use your own level of discernment. I'm also the author of the old work of both fairy tales in my hands here, The Princess and Her Inner Voice, which is fairy tale for children about their intuition, as well as The Dark High Priestess and the Prophecy of the Queen of the Unseen. This is a fairy tale written for adults through the perspective of a divine feminine that teaches about spiritual warfare from family and friends, how to reclaim your power, how to decurse yourselves, things of that nature. Both these fairy tales are in the bard format, so that means that they rhyme, so think like the content of Grimm's fairy tales. In the format of Dr. Seuss, they are written and illustrated in such a way to heal and appeal to your inner child as you read them. They're short, they're sweet, they inspire hope, and they make you feel good as you read them. The audiobooks have been released to be attached to this video for convenience. However, if you wish to purchase the physical copies, you can find them on online retailers such as Amazon, Walmart, and Barnes & Noble, to name a few. The Princess and Her Inner Voice, the second edition print, which means that the autographed first edition, as well as my products, can be found on my website, which is www.aspiraltotheself.com. All the information in the description box below for your convenience, as well as all the social media platforms and pages of mine, so that way you do not get scammed by people or pages pretending to be me. As always, I begin each reading with a prayer. I call upon God, Banja, Great Goddess Morgan, the 23, Blue, the Archangels, my ancestors, and seen unseen. Please only allow this reading what I call upon, which is high vibrational energy and frequency. If any low vibrational entities, things of energy try to come through or try to astral project, open a portal, remove view, or be a monitoring spirit in the past, present, or in the future, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, in which I give you full consent to intervene and to intercede on my behalf, whichever reading fit. Please allow me to see what you want the collective to know for I clear concise messages. If any try to abuse technology in any kind of way in the past, the present, or in the future by trying to take a screenshot, astral project, open a portal, remote view, or be a monitoring spirit, and to this set, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, in which I give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. Please protect me, this channel, the video, and the viewers. I deliver this divinely guided message. Any curses, hex, evil eye, black magic, witchcraft, and bindings, I ask that you block, bind, and blind, and immediately return to sender 100-fold, in which I give you full consent to hold them accountable and bring them to justice in your way. The sender's mask ripped off, they'll be able to hide all their lies, deceit, and ill intentions will become exposed and publicly known. Okay, collective, so I hope you guys are doing well. I kind of rushed through the intro there because I don't want this video to be too long, and it's covering a very triggering subject, okay? So, FYI, trigger warning here, this is going to have to do with moving people around. The word for it starts with a T, ends in G, okay? Unaliving people has to do with slavery in a way, has to do with people who use witchcraft and black magic in a very nefarious way in order to get some kind of come up, level up, new beginning, or something of that nature. It has to involve human sacrifices. So trigger warning there. Please take what resonates and leave the rest. This is most definitely not going to resonate with everyone, okay? Most definitely. Not everybody's lives are wild, okay? So just take it if it resonates. This has to concern a secret society, a coven, a cult that has targeted you. If that is something that has not happened to you, if when you're listening to this reading, it's very shocking, like this is the first time that you're hearing it, it doesn't resonate with you, like you're like, I'm not sure, then this is probably not your reading, which is perfectly okay, okay? Please don't try to make the story fit if it doesn't, because that means you're welcoming in that energy, and it could have a really awful effect on your life, okay? Because you could be inviting that energy in, which means that you are asking to share in those kind of experiences. So this is only going to be for the people who have been targeted by a secret society, a coven, a cult, in hopes of like making you a human sacrifice. Okay. So my disclaimer is out of the way, and please note again, this is for entertainment purposes only. I have to say that legally, so just FYI. So a couple months ago, I've mentioned about this binding ritual that the secret societies, covens, cults do when it comes to the dark moon and or the new moon. So this is something that they ritually do. This is a practice they do every dark moon, which is typically 48 to 72 hours before the new moon, and or on the new moon itself. It just depends. In my experience, they do it on the dark moon, so that way it takes effect by the new moon, but they could most definitely do it on the new moon, okay, just to utilize that energy. And the reason being because that's when it's the darkest time, so therefore it's a auspicious time to do dark things. And the things that they're doing is to get some kind of level up, to get some kind of new beginning, to essentially wash their hands clean of sin with literal blood. Like it's like washing their hands with blood in order to rid themselves of some kind of sin, some kind of karma, some kind of disease, some kind of sickness, some kind of ailment here, okay? However, it's not working. And, I mentioned this in a couple other readings, again, like I said, a couple months ago, but it wasn't the time for me to divulge fully what it was about. However, now is that time, and the reason being is that these people are in a mess. They're having a lot of natural disasters. They're having a lot of catastrophic change going on in their lives. Everyone who took part in this ritual, this binding ceremony when it came to you, again, if this resonates with you, and this is a binding ritual that uses blood magic. So they have to have something with your essence on it. So they have to have your blood. For women out there, they could literally have like a pad, a tampon, something of yours that has that on it, okay? They use blood here. They take the blood of you and they take the blood of the members and they try to bind your will to theirs, okay? Now, with that, again, like there's a lot of catastrophe going on in these people's lives and they're scrambling around trying to figure out how to move forward from this because of what they've manifested in their lives, which we'll get into what exactly they've manifested into their lives. But the divine is saying now is the time to expose this. So these people are living in the energy of what they projected out. So if they're projecting out a lot of baneful, malicious magic, that's the energy that they are residing in. And what I specifically picked up when it comes to this binding ritual is they do a couple of spells actually. They try to bind that person to death. Okay, so they bind that person to loss. And they try to isolate that person as well. Isolation can look like many things. They can try to, in a 3D, they can reinforce this with slander, defamation, character assassination, things like that, like a lot of gossip. They could try to put you in fear, like purposely allowing themselves to be seen stalking you, harassing you, having people be confrontational with you just out of nowhere, making threats to you online, things like that to get you in a state of fear. And make it to where you would stay home or not feel safe if you're out, or being, say if you're a true speaker and you're speaking up online or something, like trying to intimidate you in that way. So they try to isolate you first. They try to get you confined to your home, and then they try to bind you to loss until you get filled with despair and get taken out. Taken out can be like you unalive yourself. Taken out can be like you have some kind of natural disaster. Taken out could be like you have some kind of freak accident. Taken out could be like you have some kind of car accident. Something of that nature where like all of a sudden you pass away unexpectedly or you get really, really sick, And this is what they do to keep that energy fresh every single moon cycle. So you gotta think of how like arduous that has to be, how, burdensome to have to keep doing that so that way you can live your life. This is why I don't understand people that decide to use black magic and witchcraft to affect their life in any kind of way, because it's like if you did on the up and up, like if you just healed and heightened your vibration, you would be in the attraction energy, which means you could attract your abundance, your desires, the money. Since it seems like it's always about money, like you would attract that and you'd have everything that you desired and it wouldn't be taken from you. Right? Versus if you do this, like one, you're at the vibrational match of people who are just like you, that lie, cheat, and steal, that, like say if you did get money, it's going to get taken from you in some kind of way. It's like you never get to keep whatever it is that you gain. you have to do some kind of crime to be able to live your life for another 30 days. Like, that's wild, right? Like, I mean, if you really think about it, it's like, I don't feel like you've ever had any kind of up and up in life. Like, I've never felt like you guys have any kind of glow up in life. If you have to unalive a person, take a human life to live 30 days, like, that sounds like vampirism. That sounds like, you know, somebody who has a cursed life to begin with, where you have to take a human life, which means you have karmic debt for that, which means that, like, your soul will be judged for that. And not to mention, you can go to jail, like, just on a 3D sense. Like, you can go to jail and shit for that. And it's like, you know, we have religious freedom in the United States. However, all it takes is intent. If people can get a screenshot of you talking and Messenger and all those places of who your next target is, what you're going to do to them, does everybody consent to this, like, who's all on board, names, things like that, and people going, yeah, I'll be there at this place where we're going to do that thing, right? And then there's proof, there's photographs, there's evidence, there's videos of, like, the actual ritual itself with their whole intention, say, of unaliving a person. Like, you got to think, these people expose themselves. They have it written, you know, like, and especially since it's binding. This is a binding contract spiritually, and it can also be a binding contract with whatever it is that they sign just to join the secret society. So it's like, whatever this secret society does, everybody who's involved, because they signed that, like, non-disclosure or, you know, their own oaths and things like that, you can go down for it. You can't claim ignorance, you can't claim anything, because legally you're saying that everything that goes on in this secret society, you are not allowed to tell anyone, you're not allowed to expose it, but also that you are guilty, that you took part in it. So if every month they're unaliving people, your conspiracy to commit, at least premeditated, you know, like, so I feel like this is a cursed life to begin with, and I don't know why anybody would sign up for it. I don't know how desperate your life's gotta be to want to do this. Because typically people who do this kind of stuff, this kind of shit goes on to their family. And what I mean by that, when they join a secret society, a cult, a coven, and you're playing with, like, lower realms like demons and fallen angels and things like that, like, you give permission, you give consent by taking part in these rituals to allow these entities to possess your family. Because you allow them yourself to come through you and move through you. Because, I mean, and if you don't know, Collective, if they do these binding rituals, that's who they're summoning. They're summoning, like, old primordial gods. They're summoning fallen angels. They're summoning demons, and that's why it requires blood. Blood magic is one of the oldest magics out there, okay, and it's one of the darkest. And it's like, for them to require a human sacrifice, and how they try to cover up their crime is by doing it with witchcraft. They may not be holding the knife to the throat and slitting it, but they're doing the spell to make the person do it themselves, okay? And I've picked up on this before, like, where secret societies will curse an area and people die all of a sudden in that area. And I'll give you an example. So say Cuyahoga Falls, okay? That's in Cleveland, Ohio, around about that area. Literally the weekend after the summer solstice, so a major pagan holiday, a major ritual sacrifice holiday for Satanists, 3 people died in that time frame, and they all happened within the same area. Like, when I looked at the deaths in that area, it was like a woman just all of a sudden died. Then there was a car accident. And there was someone who fell into the water, and the people that fell into the water, there's so many people that weekend in itself that fell into the water. Some of them were saved, but some of them didn't make it. And it's like, they're getting different ideas and they're being crafty on how they can, you know, make it to where they're not doing any crime. Like, say if you curse an area where people, like, lose their senses, people, you know, act rashly, or they feel this intense urge to get close to the water, and say if it's, you know, rising rapids in one of those kind of, you know, rivers or whatever, they fall in, like, they're dead before they even hit the end. Like, there's no saving them, there's no nothing. And, like, that's how they can get sacrifices. But, like, also, again, like, people dying randomly, people, like, having car crashes all within a specific area. So I definitely picked up on that as well. Another way that they do this, okay, so I've picked up on human moving around. So there's the whole binding them to loss in order for them to have death. which can lead to them taking out illegal life insurance policies on people. So they could have most definitely like some kind of life insurance agent like in their pocket who, you know, knows that the documents that they're given are fraudulent, knows that like you never consented to having that life insurance policy taken out on you, things like that, but they just get some kind of payment from it. They unalive these people with witchcraft, and then they take out then they collect on the life insurance money, which, I mean, without your actual health exam, they can maybe get like 100,000. When you get to the 200,000 mark, that's when they demand an examination where they need like your pee, your blood sample, things like that. But I mean, that could possibly even be forged. So, you know, just depends. So you don't know exactly how corrupt this goes. But when I picked up on human moving around, they bind the will of that person, and how they do that, again, they bind the person to loss, where all of a sudden they just lose their home, they lose their job, they lose their car, they lose their family. Their whole goal is to isolate them, which what do people do when they go through hardship? They become prone to drugs and things like that. They get prone to crime and things like that. So like they try to make the person, you know, take drugs and things like that, and then they traffic them, they sell them to the highest bidder. That person has no control of their will. So say if they're binding the will of a person, say the headmaster here, the high priestess, the high priest that's doing the spell and doing the binding, they go, I want you to go inject yourself with heroin. That person, even though in their mind they're screaming, no, 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 their body will inject themselves with heroin. They will have a sort of compulsion on them to where they will do it. And then, like, you know, heroin can kill you after the first time. So, I mean, especially fentanyl, like, it can kill you after the first time. So it's like they do crazy shit to people to get them to die, but they need the soul to be in loss and despair prior to sacrificing them. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know about this. What does Spirit want you to know about this? Let's do this first. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know about these binding rituals when it comes to these cults, these covens, these secret societies that do this every dark moon, new moon to get a come up? What do you want the collective? They do this so that way they can move forward to calmer waters by the full moon. So again, it's like it like erases their sins. It cloaks them to where like God can't see. It cloaks them to where like they don't have that immediate karmic debt coming down on them. Tell us what else the collective needs to know about this. Binary. Yeah, they take someone's life force by bringing a lot of loss to that person's life. Okay, so they move on to calmer waters. They do the dark stuff to erase their sins like every 30 days, which again, you gotta think that's burdensome as fuck. Like say if you miss a beat, like if you can't unalive somebody, you're just gonna live a cursed life. After, I mean, it just seems very short-lived because it is, you know, versus doing things in the upright, which means it's forever, right? They have to get the person to lose everything. 7 could be very significant, like 7 major things. Again, they could send somebody in to, you know, attach a cord to them when it comes to attraction. So, you know, I picked up on this before, like satanic Casanovas. They have these people, either feminines or masculines, that try to go and sleep with people. And they establish a cord, a soul tie that way. Like if you black out, like say you don't know if you had sex with that person. So like if you're drinking and things like that or partying, because that's where they would try to prey upon you at. Like you don't know what happened. You don't know if that person did a ritual or not. You're not going to remember. And how you would know if an entity was able to slip into you that way, because you can most definitely transmit demons into people through intercourse. Okay, like you wouldn't remember anything. So yeah, they do that. But then we have the stag here. We have Cernunnos. We have the Lord of the Forest. The number 8 is karma, the laws of karma. And the stag represents authority, represents royalty. You could be royalty. That knew what these people were conjuring in order to challenge you in some kind of way. They tried to conjure something here to get assistance, to have good luck when, it came to binding you, so that way they could essentially suck you dry of all your energy. But again, they had to overburden you first by making you take a different path in life. So again, like they tried to bind you to loss, grief, and despair, so that way you're more prone to take a different avenue in life. And typically they do this to people who just start to awaken, because you're awakened to your abilities and things like that. Like you start to to question things. You have your power, you're starting to get it, you're starting to learn. They trick people out of their spots that way. Because again, they know that you're awakening, so that means you have a little bit of that power, that life force. They try to suck you dry before you even get to your north node. But you could most definitely be in your north node, and they try to take you out of it. They want you to take a different path in life. They want you to take a different direction. Tell us about these binding spells, Spirit. Tell us about these binding spells. Yeah, they may even try to tap into your Akashic records to figure out your weaknesses, where you know, like what has worked on you in previous lives, again, because they're hunting you and trying to find a way to make you struggle in every possible way. Like trying to find your weaknesses, trying to find what to exploit. They use a lot of mirror magic. This could signify that they try to mirror your energy, so they try to attach their bad karma to you. So when it comes to loss here, trying to bind you to loss, that could be a karma and abundance transfer spell. But what they do is they mirror the energy. So mirror being here, that means they're trying to make you the mirror to them. So that means like you would hold their energy, which means you would be attracted to all the bad karma that they stored up. So you have loss, grief, sorrow, despair, you start to lose things, people die around you, people get sick, like you lose all your money, you lose everything because you're paying for these people's karma, right? And then they wear your energy, like wear it like a cloak almost. So that way they can get your wheel of fortune, so they can get your wealth, your abundance. So this is how they last. Again, you gotta think how burdensome this has to be to survive for only 30 days. You know, like they have to bind someone to them so that way that person can now be cloaked in their energy, and they go through loss, and then they get that person's like wheel of fortune, you know, like the abundance that they deserve in life, possibly even their destiny. This is destiny swapping. And then that person like loses their mind, they lose everything in life, and then they die. Again, like they take someone's life force here. They suck them dry. There could be as many as 9 people in this spell circle when they do this. They try to swoop in low on someone who's a seer, someone who's a prophet, a messenger, who's very, very high vibrational, who's pure, who's innocent, to try to attack her in her home. This has to do with the divine feminine. However, you were cleared of all the smoke. They try to start some kind of fire by attacking your home with something that they were trying to conjure to attack your intuition, your receptive energy. And now they're having to endure the fire that they started from trying to change your path in life. They're very apathetic, they're bored. This group here, because they're possessively looking at your sense of empowerment. So this is your sacral chakra, your self-worth. It also could be your solar, so it would be both. It would be your solar, which is your personal will, your self-esteem, your self-confidence. If they're doing witchcraft on you, they're doing witchcraft on your solar plexus. But it's all to get you access to your sacral chakra. Yeah, to get abundance off of you through binding you. Trying to find a way forward to do this. However, they got the signs, the messages, and the omens that you have a spiritual protector, you have a spiritual guardian here that can't be killed, altered, destroyed, that's always in your energy. And now they got the smoke because this spiritual guardian knows exactly who they are and how they were trying to come after your spiritual wealth with this ritual here by trying to attack you in your sleep, taking shots at you to affect your transformation, all to get some kind of financial opportunity and for clout. Trying to have a reunion with stability, like foundations of life is again your like ancestral wealth, your spiritual wealth. They thought that they were cunning and quick and trying to block you, back you into a corner again with loss, grief, despair, in order for them to get a rebirth. This is something that they were taught to do. So this is passed down through generations. So this is like families that are part of the secret society that indoctrinate their kids. It teaches them how to do this. These were hidden enemies to you that your intuition picked up on. Your intuition picked up on that there was a practitioner that was trying to go after your healing, trying to hit every area where you would be insecure to affect your happiness, because they're very frustrated how many times they've tried to take shots at you to start some kind of fire in your life, to attack your stability, to bring you a catastrophic change. They are very, very dedicated to doing this. However, your ancestors are here and saw this whole ritual go down. So your ancestors know exactly who it is, how these people keep trying to master craft. So that means like, say if it doesn't work, the previous new moon, they're going to try again the next new moon. They're going to figure out what they did wrong to do some kind of injustice to you, to affect your vibration, to get your wealth, try to blind you. And now they're blocked. Like their whole pathway is blocked because what has been in the dark has been brought to light. And they're very, very jealous and envious. Trying to move very quickly with the 3 here. They could be using the power of 3. They made a very, very rash and angry decision. So when they got blocked, they tried again out of anger, being very pissed here, trying to be predatory on you. And they didn't know that your path here is protected from people who keep trying to exploit you, trying to take your energy. So again, these are people that have named you, have, you know, this is all over divine feminine, and it's somebody that you knew when it came to like a romantic relationship or someone who wanted to be in a romantic relationship. I would think of whoever you're picking up intuitively when it came to whoever tried to court you, whoever tried to, you know, be that Casanova in your life. Spirit, give us who this person was that knew the collective that's part of this secret society. Who are the people that the collective know that's within the secret society? We have a stepmom, a stepdad, a grandfather on your father's side. Who are these people? And this, someone who's in a relationship that has a professional business service job of being a third party. That is an end of a cycle of. This person's two-faced and could have moon or sun sign of Capricorn. So you had a third party. So someone who tried to court you was someone who's already in a relationship. So these are unicorn hunters, which means that they try to go and find a third. They're established couple. They're an established couple that tries to go and find a third. So this is people who don't tell you that they're in a relationship, that go out and try to, you know, be with you. Or if they do tell you they're in a relationship, they try to make it sound like the best of both worlds, you know, like, you know, we can just have sex. You don't have to, you know, owe anything to me. Well, it'll be as close to monogamy as possible. I'll be your consistent F buddy. You know, like, you don't have to, you know, we don't have to have that whole relationship commitment thing where you have to explain yourself to me or answer to me. You know, I'm just your designated F buddy. I'm only sleeping with my wife. You can be the third here. You can come over and have dinner with us or whatever if you like, you know, or you don't have to meet her at all. Like, you know, making it sound that way. Because, I mean, I've been on Tinder. I've seen what people on there say, and it's pretty wild. You know, they say majority of Tinders like people in relationships anyway. But, like, the people who are upfront about it that won't even show their face, it's like, they're like, I'm in a relationship, and I'm just looking for a little something on the side. You know, back in my dating days, you know, and just FYI, those dating sites are not doing you any favors. Get off them now. Like, dating sites has become a predatory way for these satanic groups and things to get new victims. And honestly, you're not missing much. It's low vibrational people. It's a cesspool for low vibrational people, people who haven't healed, people who haven't done the work. So, like, if you're wondering why every time you try to get on a dating website or whatever, it takes a devastating effect on your mental health, your self-worth, things like that, it's because it's all low vibrational. What you can do, if you're ready to date, is to heal yourself, work on yourself, heighten your vibration, and then let the law of attraction take its work. Like, that's the best thing you can do. I wish I knew that, like, back in my day, because literally I had how a satanic Casanova found me was through, like, I don't even remember, it was like Cupid or something, OkCupid. A satanic Casanova found me through OkCupid, and all it takes is a picture to do witchcraft, and maybe even a name, and the guy already put a love spell on me prior to me ever meeting him. And that was 3 years of my life. So, you know, like, that's why I kind of know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, I know what glamour feels like. I know what love spells feel like. You know, like, get off of it. It's not doing you any favors. Who else, Spirit? Who else is part of the secret society? We have someone who's married with children that are Gen Z, born 1996 to 2010. Wow. A baby boomer, so maybe have a baby boomer that's married and has a child that's. Then we have someone here who works in education that's not government owned. the brother by blood or by marriage to an ex. So yeah, you have someone here that is an ex. So you had an ex here that's connected to you. Tell us about this stepmom, stepdad, grandfather. So what this is telling me, for some of you, it could be all of them. So again, take what resonates. Maybe not all of these people are all part of the secret society that affects you, but this is just a collective read. So this could be people that may have been, because I mean, we have two people here that we have a third party connection. We have the ex, but the ex literally could be part of this third party here, be someone they had a relationship with. So the stepmom, the stepdad, the grandfather, it could be all three of them. It could be one of them. Just take where it applies. Give us some cards for the stepmom, stepdad, the grandfather. That's part of the secret society spirit. Give us some cards for these people. What do we know about them? These people have low IQ, and they were very, very extra triggered at the fact that you received downloads in your dreams. They wanted you to have bad habits. Again, these are people trying to bind your will to get you to partake in drugs, to take you off your path in life, for you to make drastic decisions. They wanted you to feel confused, to feel empty inside. These were wolf in sheep's clothing that were trying to threaten you. Again, like threaten your life by doing this, by naming you as a sacrifice. And it was all to hustle for money. These people always acted weird. They always wore a mask around you. So again, these people were trying to get you prone to addictions, get you prone to toxic behaviors. Again, it looks like someone here is part of a third party. So they sleep around, they're polyamorous, which means that like they wanted you to partake in that. Maybe even get an STD, demons and diseases, you know, but they wanted you to be on drugs and things like that. But also, if you're like on drugs, it would take away your spiritual gifts. And say if you drink alcohol and you do the hardcore drugs, it makes you a portal and open for entities to possess you. Again, it says that you're very high vibrational, that you're very pure. They were trying to lower your vibration very significantly, but most importantly, they were trying to take away your anointing, trying to take away your purity, make you impure by trying to house you with the demon. But like they had to violate your vessel first. And it's all because you're someone who has spiritual gifts here. So these people can most definitely target people that have spiritual gifts, like a way to take it from them. But also could just have something to do with the energy of the divine feminines. Yeah, they wanted you to feel lost and empty inside, where you were prone to addictions. Give us some cards for this third party that's in a relationship. It's an end of a cycle with this person. Whatever they submitted to the courts was rejected, so they even tried to get the law involved, and now they're crying over you because they were trying to blackmail you, trying to give you some kind of scarcity tactic, because right now you have a great reputation. Yeah, they feel very, very triggered, ready to explode because they've been caught in the act. Because of their darkness. Their darkness has been illuminated by your sense of self-love. So this third party, which, you know, in my own personal opinion, because I've seen the polyamorous lifestyle, I have family members that are in the polyamorous lifestyle. I've, you know, been introduced to polyamorous couples that wanted to date me. It's a lot of people who are very, very damaged. They don't have any self-love. They have some serious wounds, and they feel like penis and pussy is going to help it. They just try to fuck their way. Like the relationships that are polyamorous, I will never understand. You know, like I've seen it. Like I've been there, I've seen it, I've sat with them. And it's like, I feel like it's just a way, so that way they can like legally cheat on their partner. It's people who have very low sense of self-esteem and self-worth. They've got lots of wounds and they don't want to feel abandoned. So they just stay, like, I'll give you an example. This one couple I met, this guy and this girl's been married for a very long time. Like they were high school sweethearts. But then one day she's like, hey, you know, I still love you if I sleep with someone else, right? And he's like, yeah. And so she got her a boyfriend. So it's not even just about sex. She had a complete separate relationship with someone else. And he just went out and had sex with random people as well. And, you know, they wore, you know, protection, or at least he did. I don't know about her. But like he could have random sex with strangers, and she had the one consistent guy, and she would live half her life with the guy she married and half her life with the guy she was dating. It's like, you gotta think that's wild as fuck. Like that's not commitment. Like that's not commitment. And to me, it's like looking at these couples and like analyzing them. It's like they don't want to fully leave who they're with for whatever reason, but they want to, you know, like they want that stability, but they don't want to do the things to have stability. So they complicate their life. And again, a lot of jealousy comes out. People get triggered. People break rules, things like that. And then there's some polyamorous couples where only the guy's allowed to go and get some. And the girl, they'll be like, well, you can have another girl if you'd like. Like, it's a whole lot of toxicity. And it's like, it looks like that. This person is triggered. Their darkness is triggered by your sense of self-love because they don't have it. They're in denial about your sense of self-love because they don't have it. They don't have it. And it makes sense. They're two-faced. So this person is not their most authentic self. This person has no sense of like self-acceptance. It says inner childhood wounds. They could most definitely have wounds this way. Professional business service job could like easily be prostitution or, you know, escort or something like that. But they're in a relationship with somebody as a third party. And it's an end of a cycle either with that relationship or it's an end of a cycle with them having any kind of effect on you. But they were trying to involve the courts in some kind of way. Again, they were all hoping to do witchcraft on you to bind your will to where you would do drugs. Maybe even get you locked up in jail for that. Because, I mean, that would have a damper on someone's mental health as well, right, if you're, like, in jail. But they're crying because they wanted to blackmail you into doing something because you have a good reputation. Clarify the married Gen Z baby boomer. Clarify this person. This is someone here who tried to make false reports to CPS on you, but it was rejected because they were unable to creep on you. They were unable to separate your kids from you. So they even went as far as to try to target your kids as well. Yeah, so they're not able to force their way in your life. They're not able to try to force anything in your life. To bring trash, you know, to make you feel like life is too much. Throw your life away. Yeah, they're unable to separate you from your kids. Unable to force what they wanted to happen to you for you to feel like life was too much. Again, the Queen Rising, someone who's in the public eye. When they made a call to CPS to say that you neglected and abused your kids. Again, so like there's a whole plot here of these people, you know, like trying to apply the pressure in the 3D, like making the false reports to CPS, submitting stuff to the courts to get you locked up. Trying to do the witchcraft in the background, again, to bind you to loss, so that way you'd be more prone to drug addictions, to alcohol, to sleeping around, things like that. But they see that you have too much self-love, so they try to cripple it. Again, they wanted to take everything from you. Went as far as trying to rip your kids out of your arms, so that way you would feel lost and despair. Like, these people are despicable as fuck. And I wish and I pray that you get everything that you've earned and deserve pronto. I really do. Like, I really do. And it looks like they are, so my wish is coming true. But these people wanted you to feel empty inside, trying to rip your babies from your arms because they wanted some kind of level up. They were upset. We have a stepmom, a stepdad, and a grandfather on your father's side that were extra triggered about your spiritual gifts. Like wanting them for themselves, not wanting you to expose them. Again, this is a generational thing where it's passed down. So there, again, we have grandfather and a stepdad. Like, we have someone's parent here taught them how to do this, to be stuck in a cursed life where they have to, you know, unalive someone, have blood literally on their hands every 30 days. Like, I couldn't imagine living that way. I really, truly couldn't. But they made a call to CPS to try to rip your kids away from you, saying that you neglect them. Again, but they needed you to do the drugs and stuff first. It didn't go through, though, because they were unable to creep on you. They can't spy on you. Wow. Who's this educational job person? This is somebody that was trying to dig dirt on you. Even had someone impersonate you. Even have someone impersonate you to show that, like, that someone let you go. moved in silence thinking of you, was profile creeping on you. So this person was always on like social media trying to search for you, trying to look through your feed. Moving in silence, trying to make it to where it looked like someone left you. So this could even be making fake social media accounts. Yeah, they were trying to get photo proof by looking through your social media that you were fake flexing around spring. This person's also a spiritual hater. Again, these are satanic people. These are people that hate the light. Clarify the ex, brother by blood or by marriage. This person accepted an offer from an ex. Accepted an offer from an ex that wanted to put you in some kind of situationship, some kind of third party. Wanted you to be a secret hookup around summertime. They wanted to keep you on the down low because they married for money. So again, these are people that already have relationships. However, that situation's played out because it's played out to say that you're always partying because you're not. They want to visit you unexpectedly because they see that you're too busy winning in life. And they're reflecting on that, and it fills them up with rage because they lost their chance with you. You're uninterested in them, and they're going to get locked up for giving people money to stalk you. They're very haunted right now about the decisions that they've made. This player around fall who's been tripping on you, trying to dust off the fact that they, are reminiscing or dwelling on you because they're seeing signs about being ghosted because of some kind of family issues, and they feel humiliated by their own commitment. So they've been ghosted by like a family member, someone that they had a relationship with. This is wild. Wild. So you have family members and lovers here that are all part of some kind of secret society, and it looks like you have either a stepmom or a stepdad that's connected to you, that's parent taught them how to do this. And it's all because you had special gifts, and then they tried to ruin your life. Because again, in order for you to be for their offering to be accepted, they had to make you have a loss. And they tried to do so by tearing your babies from your arms and getting you addicted to drugs and making you a secret hookup of someone. Diabolical as fuck. Okay, Spirit, what are these people's karma that they're now stuck? What are these people's karma right now that they can't escape? Tell us about the secret society and the karma. They're having parenting issues. Again, it says that someone here's having family issues, that ex here, or the ex's brother. They're forced to live a homosexual lifestyle, which remember, that's what they wanted for you, because their spell work has backfired. So this binding spell backfired onto them. So say if they were trying to bind you to loss, grief, and sorrow and despair, it happened to them. They have to watch you prosper in love. They're being attacked and tortured by demons. They're stricken with laziness and lack of motivation, again, because they're bound to loss. Their own root chakra is blocked. That means losses in safety, security, and a solid foundation. They're being scammed and losing major money. Again, they were scammed by doing this ritual to begin with. Botched surgery, plastic, or general. Victim of identity theft. Again, it looked like they were trying to steal your identity by impersonating you online. Someone here is having fertility issues. So that could be spun in so many different ways. Cursed with debt on top of debt, again, because their root chakra is blocked, their money's cursed. They're surrounded by monitoring spirits and flying monkeys, so narcissistic enablers and people who spy on them. They're going to be serving jail time. Again, like imagine, you're unaliving people every single 30 days. And they're getting a call from the other man, woman, again, because like they believe in infidelity, like they believe in whatever. People are diabolical as fuck. I'm gonna get to the tea. Spirit, give us the tea on this. Give us the tea. Believing in nothing is why there's no miracles or blessings in their life. So because they believe that nothing exists, that's why they don't ever have a high vibrational soul tribe. That's why they keep attracting people who are just like them. But again, they literally curse themselves by being part of this ritual every single 30 days. Because they believe in nothing. That's why they don't have blessings. You know what you know, however, wait for Spirit to tell you what your next move should be. They're elevating your consciousness and vibration are your game changers. So again, like if they were truly intelligent, they would just elevate their vibration and their consciousness, and that would be the game changer in their life, because they believe there's nothing, there's no miracles. Like they don't believe in God, but they believe in the opposite, which doesn't make sense. Again, it's like selective faith here, but that's why they've never experienced the divine. The Fae and the She walk with you and guide you. So you have a lot of nature spirits here. The divine and angels walk with you and guide you. So you are protected and guided, like they're literally in your energy. The Fae, the She, the divine and angels are with you always. They may not betray you today or tomorrow, but they will eventually. It's their nature and intention. So just know that, because if they try to come back in your life, they may not do it immediately, but they will. You only cross paths, so you'd be what unleashes their karma and divine judgment. You are walking karma. The divine used you to judge these souls. Again, these people were hiding from the divine, hiding their sins, hiding their karma, cloaking innocent souls with their deeds, their sins, like cloaking them with all the most terrible, darkest parts of their soul, cloaking innocent people in their energy and stealing it, like swapping it, like giving innocent souls the energy of all their dirty deeds, so that way they paid their karma and they got to go away scot-free. The divine hid you in plain sight and made you essentially bait. These people were baited to come after you with your high vibration, but you're a warrior. You were the trap. And once they crossed paths with you, they got their karma. So this is all a fate event. This is all divine plans. The angels have orchestrated this situation. Again, the angels orchestrate this whole situation. The cycle has to close out prior to moving forward, which means these people have to get their karma and justice has to be served before the cycle can be closed out. Pray on it with a lit white candle, okay? So do your return to senders, cleanse your energy, give the angels, the She, the Fae, the divine permission to intervene and to intercede in your life, but also like to meditate on it. Like, again, it says that you know what you know, wait for spirit to tell you what your next move should be. A little adventure will do your soul and inner child some good. So go have you like a little adventure, go exploring, go play. Yeah, again, this is about a secret society. Your path was fated to cross the path of secret society members. So like if you ever wondered why you were implanted in certain families and things like that, so it says you have a stepmom, a stepdad here whose father taught them how to do this. You are purposely put in these individuals' pathway to bring them their karma and divine judgment. That was your whole purpose. To bring down the secret society. Because again, they are in a binded circle. What happens to one happens to all. So everybody who is part of it, remember we picked up 9, all 9 will share in the same fate because they're being charged spiritually with the same crime. Because they're all opportunists. You're a reincarnated goddess and you have support from your spirit guides. Again, you've got a lot of guidance going on here from the angels, the divine, the Fae, the She. They're wanting to start a fight when it comes to your legacy or some kind of inheritance. That's what it really could be all about. How they feel about you is what they need to heal in themselves. Again, you triggered these people. Like, it's like the one that was in a third party. It's like you triggered them because you love yourself. That sounds like a fucking you problem. Like, love yourself. Now they're seeking forgiveness for past actions. There is none, because again, this is a fate event. You only cross paths to unleash their karma and divine judgment, which means their souls have been judged. Brace yourself for this person's enemy's lies. Those aren't your friends, they're your ops. The situation brought you closer to the all-high and spiritual team who revealed the secrets to you about like these people. A ceremony or ritual is done on you to block, delay, or to hurt you again, to end your life. Whatever reports that were submitted to the authorities, CPS, courts, etc., were thrown out, denied. Again, it said that it was rejected. The old gods fight for you and guide you. So again, it says you're a reincarnated goddess here. You're a reincarnated goddess here that was purposely put in the path of these people. You could be like a reincarnated goddess of like justice or something like that. It says that you have like prophetic sight. It says you're a reincarnated goddess. You have the divine and angels that walk with you, the Fae, the She that walk with you, and the old gods fight for you and guide you. So that means like you are a very powerful and ancient soul. You have a very specific purpose here. These people didn't know who the fuck they crossed paths with. These people really didn't understand, like, you're their reckoning. You're their judgment. Judged a book by its cover, not knowing that it was bait. I mean, that's exactly what this is. People resonate with you and what you're saying. So again, you're some kind of truth speaker. People feel you because, believe it or not, and it's so sad and unfortunate that this is like this, but there's so many people who've gone through what you have, and it's like, you're someone who can express, here's what I've gone through with the spiritual warfare. Here's what I've experienced with my own family, with my own exes, things like that. Here's what I've experienced. And like people go, you know what, fuck, like that happened to me too, and things like that. Like the whole satanic panic thing, that was like all out through the 90s, but people been doing diabolical shit forever. Again, this is a generational secret society. They pass down the knowledge to their children on how to curse, how to harm people for some kind of level up. This is taught. And you're here to be their reckoning. That they wish they did it now. That they wish they didn't. What is fatedly ordained by God for you cannot be stolen. This childhood friend, because there's a childhood friend here that's involved that can't hide anything from you. Again, you see though, like you fucking see them. So they're doing binding spells to old gods while you have old gods that fight for you and guide you as well. So fire with fire. That's why they underestimated you. Was trying to send you death. You inspire men by living your truth. Again, people resonate with what you're saying and who you are because they know that you're mostly authentic. When it comes to your social circles, your 11th house, you can also be a humanitarian, but it says your social circles. These people who aren't your friends, they're your ops. Arrests are being made. Be selective on who you give your time, energy, and love to because believe it or not everybody fucking deserves it. These people's phones and electronics are tapped. They paid for witchcraft to be done on you. I mean, we know that. Or to have some kind of family celebration, which was dependent upon your death. So let's see here. Tell us about how the old gods and the divine walk with the collective. Tell us about how the old gods and the divine walk with the collective. When it comes to your friendships and true love, or this could signify friendship. So they walk with you. You could have, it says you're a reincarnated goddess. These could have been friends in a previous life that you had that you truly love. So these old gods, the fae, the she, they love you. Like you had a partnership with them. That this is part of your shamanic journey, your purpose, your vision, your quest. You're getting assistance here. A horse could be Maka, Rhiannon, Poseidon. That helps you to learn, gives you wisdom. That can be found through joy, art, and music. So like when you create or when you listen to music, you can get visions and things. Again, because you're in your divine feminine energy. When it comes to like your heart being closed to people, not having deep connections, have sacred gratitude because this is what helped you to plant something new or for them to plant something new. 1212 is the angel for new beginning. So be grateful that your heart chakra wasn't open, that you didn't have deep connections with these people. So you may have never felt connected to these family members, these friends, the sex here. Be grateful because the divine, these old gods, were able to plant something new to give you a new beginning by filling you with ancient wisdom and miracles in order to bring you your paradise from these people that were trying to send you witchcraft to help you to reclaim your power. Again, they were trying to bind you, filling you with courage, strength, and fierceness. Like in this picture, you've got the lion here. That's Sekhmet, looking over you. It says the old gods look over you because again, it's part of your sacred purpose, your ancestral legacy. You come from a very, very powerful royal bloodline. Like it says you're a reincarnated god. The old gods, the fae, the she, the divine, the angels love you. If you know anything about the fae, the she, they're descendants of angels. The old gods could even be the fae, the she, because the fae, the she were gods back then. Before they separated from our world and went, over the veil to live in an alternate reality or something like that. They were revered as gods. That's why you have so many, like different Parthenons from different, cultures. They're all called something different, but they kind of all have the same kind of like powers and things like that. It's through there. Because like, if you know the story, the origin story of the Fae the She, there's several different out there. But like, say, one of them is that like when God cast out Lucifer, it created a vortex, and unsuspecting angels fell out. So like, not because like they deserved to be cast out, not because like they, you know, deserved it or they wanted to follow Lucifer. They just like were sucked into the funnel and put here on this realm. And then God said whoever fell out stayed out. So then they were doomed to walk this earth. That's why they're considered like benevolent. They're not necessarily good or bad. They just are, and they had magical powers. It says that they walk with you and guide you. The angels walk with you and guide you. And then again, the old gods fight for you. So, I mean, we've got Sekhmet here. We've got Poseidon, Macha, Rhiannon, that helped you to release any kind of constraints on your life by helping you to become something new here. So let's see who these old gods are. Spirit, who are these old gods that walk with the collective? Who are these old gods that walk with the collective, that guide them, that you want to... We have Hecate, goddess of moon, magic, and wisdom. Wow. We have the full moon. I mean, there's full moon in several of these. We have Yule. We have the goddess Brigid, so the Celtic goddess Brigid, the daughter of Dagda, so the king of the Tuatha De Danann, which is the king of the Fae. So you have the king of the Fae, here's daughter. We have Sedna, the sea goddess, the mother of the sea. You got Hecate. What other old gods walk with the collective? Hermes, the messenger of the gods. The Egyptian god Amun, creator god, solar deity. Smudge your space. So we have the full moon, Yule. Yule is when the winter solstice is, which that's a big pagan holiday. We have the daughter of the king of the She, the Fae, who walk with you. Hermes, the messenger of the gods. The creator god. You have the creator god and you've got the mother of the sea. These are big, big gods. Like, these aren't nobody to play with. They're not for play. Then you've got Hecate, which most people who do the dark arts, you know, people who like to curse and stuff, try to call upon Hecate. So you got people that try to call upon Hecate on the full moon who's laughing in their face at them, right? We got Lord Ganesh, the remover of obstacles. So you've got plenty of big hitters here that give you the messages. Again, we have Sekhmet, she's Egyptian. We have an owl here, so that could be the goddess Athena. We have the hawk, which could be Cernunnos. We have the horse, again, Poseidon. I mean, we have the mother of the sea. Why the fuck not would Poseidon not be in there? You have a friendship with them. They love you. Again, like, you're a reincarnated goddess, so that means like your whole purpose was to come on the side to be judgment for these people. Wow. Tell us about their phones, their electronics being tapped. Tell us about their phones, their electronics being tapped. Yeah, we have the authority figure here, King of Swords, who has found a solution by looking at many different ways to challenge these people when they were trying to steal something, trying to lie, trying to cloak their intentions, trying to mask. He's going to have a passionate breakthrough in getting his wishes fulfilled. To these people, this King of Pentacles, someone, again, who's very, very wealthy, that tried to isolate people, to traumatize them, fill them with emotional pain in order to get long-term stability. Like, again, money. They do this to get money. From someone who's in the public eye that tried to trap them. Tell us about their electronics being tapped. That the justice system knows about these people when it comes to the sacral chakra. Again, that's how they energy harvest. What they do to people's self-worth. But also, you're getting karmic justice from a King of Cups, someone who's very diplomatic, emotionally intelligent. So this can also signify that because, again, you're in the public eye, you are expressing yourself in a very creative way. You have a source of prophecy. It says people really resonate with you and what you're saying. That your creations is what giving you justice against the King of Cups, because you've mastered your intuition here and have been resilient to any of these binding spells that was on your love life. Meant to bring you catastrophic change so that way you would be susceptible to being with a promiscuous player. Again, that ex here who's been stalking you. Yeah, people know about this. They know the truth about this deception. It's been illuminated through your foresight about these people who work together that you moved on from. That were trying to get some kind of prosperity, trying to get some kind of financial opportunity by going after the destiny of divine feminine. We have a Queen of Pentacles, a wife, a mother. There's been rapid change going on in her life that has made her feel defeated, where she's having to utilize her strength every single day with this secret society because of what they were invested in, to trying to overcome obstacles. Because you cut this person off out of your energy. Queen of Swords, you've been stating your truth. You're very, very intelligent about how this person was trying to bring conflict to your children by trying to overburden you with loss. Again, like, I can't even make it up. Like, they were definitely targeting your children to do something to you. Like, trying to bring you loss through your kids. And they're having everything they wanted for you done to them. And they're all going to go to fucking jail. They need to. They need to. What has been exposed in this phone tap? What has been exposed? It's been exposed that their refusal to give in, to give you some kind of bad reputation, because they've been reminiscing about it. So like, oh, remember that time when the collective could do this? They're reminiscing. They're in denial. Refusing to give in, to give you some kind of bad reputation. What was exposed? Let's go here. How they were trying to get you to lose. Yeah, reminiscing on the time when you weren't winning. What was exposed in these conversations. How they made fake profiles of you, hiding themselves, plotting on your social media against, so they were trying to find dirt on you. Yeah, trying to get, searching, profile creeping, trying to get photo evidence. Be careful what the fuck you post on social media. You should not be outing your business on there. You should not be putting your shit on there. You just shouldn't, okay? So what else they've been finding on the phone tap? That again, they were trying to get up in your business. So like their phone taps showing how these people refused to stop trying to give you a bad reputation, reminiscing on times when you weren't winning in life. It has to do with a lot of social media, stalking you online, trying to get photo evidence here. That they feel guilty, they feel ashamed, which means they had to admit guilt. They had to admit guilt here. What else they find? Because they were unable to get any kind of unexpected money. They weren't able to steal an inheritance because of some kind of deadline. Time ran out because they're having legal issues. So again, they incriminate themselves. Like when they talked, their phones are tapped. They're seeing a whole plot of what these people have said. Yeah, how they want you back. They want you back because they want to threaten you. They want you to do bad habits. They want you to be on drugs, but they want to threaten you to do them. They want to be in your energy again, so their witchcraft will work on you, so that way you can do the drugs. They can get little pictures of you or whatever, and then threaten you to do what you want, like what they want you to do. These are wolf in sheep's clothing. Like again, they admitted this and on some kind of technology, and it was seen. Yeah, how they wanted you to feel empty inside. How they're upset about your dreams giving you answers. How they got low IQ waiting for you to be into them and reconcile with them. Again, you'll never fucking reconcile with them. Like if you have any sense at all, you will never reconcile with these people because they're only going to bring you family issues. Again, they try to literally rip your babies from your arms. Try to rip your babies from your arms, but the justice system sees this and they're going to have a passionate breakthrough. What kind of blessings should the collective be aware of to show gratitude for? A blessing for the right words, and a blessing on your family, the ones that you created when it came to a battle that couldn't be avoided. Again, like you couldn't avoid this battle because it's fated. It's fated for you to be a bringer of justice. What does bond want the collective to know? That you went through a death and rebirth. You are changing to bring in the joy, the enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, play. Again, the sun, we saw that you had the Amun, the solar deity, the creator deity that walks with you. We have the 7 star sisters. You are here to birth creations the tapestry of life to express. You are a messenger. Again, you literally have the messenger of the gods walking with you. You have Hermes that says bring in harmony and balance. That stop the endless search. You are the Holy Grail. That you are questioning everything, anything unaligned must go, that you are lifting the veil. Again, you have access to the other realms that are here. You have access to the higher realms. You have access to the lower realms. You are not alone by any fucking means. These people may have thought you were alone, but they were sorely mistaken. Yeah, because you're healing the mother line. So you are healing your mother's line. This has to do with the generational curse on your mother's side. All right, collective, I hope I was able to provide you with clarity of what you already truly know. Thank you for watching. If you like my vibe in this video, please like, share, subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. Please stay tuned for a brief little snippet of the Dark High Priestess and the Prostitute Queen Nancy.